Leni ben yonile loko. Esiku dede asiko yi. Hello everyone, it's Adura. I hope your day is going well. Today I'd like to teach another Yoruba prayer. I did two before this one. I've done quite a couple in the past. But my two most recent videos are two prayers. I've done Arinokore and I've done Adelebari. Adelebari was my recent one. Arinokore, Adelebari, Àfòyà is the one I'll be addressing in this video. Àfòyà, what does it mean when you say Àfòyà? As you know, I like to break each word into the different words that they comprise of, or even sometimes the syllables, if I feel that there's something to learn from whatever specifics that I'm choosing to address. So next I'm going to explain what Àfòyà is, word for word. Àfòyà, Àfòyà, Àfòyà. On its own, the word means the act or state of jumping or skipping. Also, it's the act or state of avoiding, and I'll explain why soon. As a whole, it would be the act or state of escaping. The act or state of jumping or skipping plus the act or state of avoiding sort of connotes the act or state of escaping in Àfòyà, because it's important to break it into syllables or words to get a hang of what's going on with that word. It's not an original word, you know, it's a combination of several words. So you would like to see what that's about. Is the act or state of. It's the act or state of. Fo is to jump or skip. Ya is to avoid or pass by or separate from or divide. Ya. Àfòyà. The act or state of jumping or skipping plus the act or state of avoiding or passing by or separating from or dividing oneself from. It's a perfect word because you're saying two things in one. Jumping and avoiding. As a whole, it's the act or state of escaping. Ibi is evil. And evil tends to be like a bad or negative experience. When you put these words together, Àfòyà, it's the act of escaping evil. The act of escaping evil. So when you say Àfòyà, you're saying it will be an act of escaping evil. And it's not pronoun sensitive or population sensitive or gender sensitive. You know, so it could be I will escape evil that you're saying when you say Àfòyà, or you will escape evil. Whatever the case may be, you're saying that it will be an act of escaping evil. It will be a state of escaping evil. Àfòyà, Àfòyà, Àfòyà. The act or state of. It's a pretty common word starter. Whenever something starts with a word starts with it could be a noun depending, and it may refer to the act or state of. In the cases of Arinokore and Adelebari, you know, the act or state of is what would be when it's starting the word like that. Fo is to jump. Fo is to jump. Ya is to escape from. It's like fo. Ma fo, don't jump. Ya, you know, go to the side, pass. If I say yago, for example, that's a different word, but ya is in that word as well. You know, yeah, or if I just simply say yeah, I'm saying, you know, move to the side. Don't be in my way, or don't be in my path. Move to the side, pass by. If you go to Nigerian markets, let me even pick one Ibadan market for example. Let's say Bodija market or Mokola market. You see men carry this like heavy bags. Many times they have bags of rice or bags of elubo or bags of pepper, you know, in and out. This alaru, they are the ones that carry your stuff with like basins. Those ones are the individual alarus, but typically the men are the one who do the heavy stuff, the wholesale transporting. So typically they're yelling at you in Ibadan, there's no Ibadan market, in the Bodija market, yago, yeah, they're saying don't be in my path, don't be in my way, move, you know, don't be in my path, separate yourself from me, move to the side, is what they're saying. So when you say Afoya, it's a brilliant word, because Ibi comes after, it tells you something about what the Yoruba people think of Ibi as well. Ibi can be evil, it can mean something else. So there are homonyms, you know, that have those same letters, and by same letters I mean same letters, same tone marks. You know, the exact same word could mean different things, and I've addressed this separately, so I will link it in the flashing card that you typically see. It's a pretty interesting one, Afoya. When you combine fo and ya, that way you're saying something. How does evil work? How does evil work? Evil either comes to a person or one goes to evil. You might be at home minding your business and God forbid something random might happen. You've not made any mistake, you're not dancing on a slippery floor, you've not left the cooker on, you know, you've not left the fridge open, you've not overcharged something that might blow, you've practically done everything right, but it still doesn't mean that something bad can happen to one. There are many things that are outside one's control, you know. So I think the first time I realized this was during a plane crash in Nigeria, and we were listening to the news. I don't know if what we read was a paper, and we were told that there was somebody in their room. The plane literally crashed and it affected the house. Perhaps there was a little baby there minding their own business, or two lovers, you know, having the time of their lives, whatever that means, or a grandma praying for a granddaughter. You know, there could have been just random things happening before the plane crash. It's like you're in your house, I think it was a Sunday or a Saturday, you're minding your business, but then whoosh, what are the odds? So we have Ashe, we have power, yes, but there's still a universal process that is just as interesting as it is scary, you know. So one could be minding their business and evil could, God forbid, come to them. Now one can also walk into the direction of evil. You know, there could be a robbery on the way and you're just driving, and lo seko faji kelele you're going, and God forbid there's a stray bullet from somewhere, or you actually, that would be more something out of your control. So that won't be part of it. But for the walking into evil, you know, actually, even walking into the accident might still not be something that one is intentionally doing. Let's say you sign something, you don't read through a document, and you sign, and God forbid you've signed the company away, or you've literally signed yourself out of a job. In that case, one has consciously done something, but it's evil. Or you're play fighting with somebody, you know, I love you, you love me, we are teasing each other, whatever, and you sort of get a little rough with it, and 2 seconds later the person is either lying unconscious or something from what started out as a simple over tickling, or I don't want to sound like morbid or evil, but a little pillow fight. You know, so I sound so bad. This is such a wrong impression that I'm giving, you know, but I'm just trying to give instances of situations where one can either be a victim of evil that one hasn't even played a part in at all, or one can perhaps consciously or unconsciously, you know, sign themselves into evil, or walk themselves into evil, or speak themselves into evil. Say no evil, whatever the consequence of that might be. So there are certain people that by the time you have the first occurrence, or the second or the third, you just know that your team, they don't want you to add your 2 cents in certain situations. They want you to live there, because you're going to, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work with your eleda, with your ori. Even your egbe, they don't like it. They think it's too, they just don't want to be involved. You know, if you have anything to say, don't say it among people, because at the end of the day, they are going to make you seem like the bad person. They're going to literally walk you into that evil. You know, so don't add your 2 cents. A lot of people would relate with this as well. You know, you might have the most brittled tongue, is that what it is called? You might be the most cautious, disciplined person, but the time you offer your, or there are certain people that I know, for a lot of Obatala devotees, they would relate as well. It's like you don't do any evil, you mind your business, you know, you don't steal, you don't do anything, but that one time that one time that you just decide, well, everyone is doing it and I've had it up to here, you know, everyone is getting back what they deserve in some way, I might as well get what I deserve in this way too. And maybe you take a pen and you put it in your pocket, or the most random of things. Maybe that would be the day that they would do like a search, or that would be the day that your pants will fall and the pen will pop out or something. So you just know that, yeah, it's not gonna work. My soul is too, or even it could be like a soul's lesson, something that the soul wants to learn. So the soul knows that you did it in your past life, you know, and you got away with it. Under Obatala's watch, you're not getting away with it this time. You're going to discipline yourself for your soul's growth. You're not, even if you feel that there's an injustice here, you go by it the right way. You know, you don't you don't put certain things in your control. There are just different directions that this could go. So back to Afoya. The idea of fo is simple once you realize that the word is jump. It doesn't mean that that thing is not in your way, but you jump over it. It doesn't mean that it doesn't come to you, that the offer or the temptation or the situation doesn't come, but you're able to avoid it. And peradventure, peradventure you are unable to successfully jump over it, you know, perhaps with the call that happens, or perhaps with the something random that happens that literally helps you skip that talk or that document or that situation. Even if you go through it, literally going through the fire in some sense, the fire doesn't burn you. You are not negatively affected by it. Perhaps you sign it and someone quickly calls your attention and says, you were not supposed to sign on that document, or sign into that system, or do that, and you immediately sign yourself out or cancel your situation and confiscate the document. So even if you are, you know, you get to it, okay, you fall in the ditch, you don't die there, you're able to get out of it as quickly. So those could be the two ways that it could go. It could be you fall, you jump it, you skip it, something distracts you and you don't put yourself in that situation. Or even if you get there, you're very quickly corrected or very quickly made aware. Oh, what did I just do? And you remove your signature. You know, so that is for yeah means that you're not even in that situation at all. You're not even on the day that the talk is happening, you know, the back talk or whatever it's called. You're not even there on the day that the gist is happening, let alone have a manager walking on you, saying something at the wrong time, expressing yourself at the wrong time, or you're not even in that situation at all. Perhaps you would have passed the road, let's say, and you just feel like, well, instead of going through the expressway, why don't I just go through one of the service roads or one of the back routes? And you just go there. So that way you don't even know that anything is happening, you know. Whether you escape it, whether you don't, you know, whether you jump over it, whether you don't, won't really apply here. You're not even in the way of that thing. So instead of traveling that day, you decided to take a picnic, you know, or you decided to do something else. That is literally, you're avoiding it completely. You're not trying to jump over it after the fact, or you are not in that situation and hoping to skip it and just not be involved in whatever evil is going to happen there. With you're not even there at all. Essentially, in a nutshell, you're recognizing that evil could either be in one's way, or it could come meet one where one is. You could either be walking to evil, towards evil, or evil could be walking towards you and personifying evil now. You know, you could either be walking into evil, or evil could be approaching you, coming towards you. So, you know, the universal aspect of things and your own individuality, your own choices, your own decisions, you know, it could go both ways. I'm trying to think of another way to discuss this in detail, but I can't seem to. I believe I've done my best. The essential idea behind it is escape. You jump over it if it's in your way. If it comes towards you, you avoid it. Or you escape it. You avoid it. Literally, it depends on how you look at it. So our ancestors were quite deep, and I'm pretty sure that if someone else was to explain this even further, I will be wowed. You know, there are different ways that this can go. So that's it for Àfòyà ibi. Àfòyà ibi. Àfòyà ibi is an example statement that involves pronouns in this case. Àfòyà ibi. This one is pronoun sensitive. So you would use this when you're praying for yourself. Ma foi bi. There are different ways of saying the exact same prayer. With Afoya bi, it's not gender specific or age specific or population specific. You know, you can say it to someone who's older than you. You can say it to someone who's younger than you. You can say it about someone who's younger or older than you. You know, it's not any of those articles or any of those pronouns specific. But when you want to use pronouns or nouns, you know, I will escape evil, you will escape evil, and things like that, I encourage you to see my video on pronouns and the video that I made recently, how to say I will, you will, he will, she will, they will, and all that in different dialects, because I believe those 3 videos, my 2 videos on pronouns that I'm about to update because they are at least 3 to 4 years old. It's not that the information that is in them is incorrect, but I just want to explain them better. So I'll make another one. I'll probably link it to this video if I remember when I make those videos. So my 2 videos on pronouns, how they appear in the subject and object forms, and the recent video that I just made on how to say I will, you will, pronouns with the word will in different dialects. With those 3 videos, you should be good as far as certain words that you might see are concerned. So I'm going to give more examples. I will. Ma, I will. Fo is jump. Fo is what it would look like because of the kind of tense that it is instead of fo. So fo, jump or skip. Then ibi, evil. I will jump or skip evil, which connotes that you will escape evil. You know, I will escape evil. Another way of saying the exact same thing, using the exact same verb for, but different pronoun in the object form will be ibiafowa. Ibiafowa. Ibi is evil. A is will. Fo is jump or skip. Wa is us. Evil will jump or skip us. So instead of ibiafo me, you know, which would be evil will jump or skip me, I encourage you to see my videos on pronouns and the recent one that I made with pronouns and the word will in different dialects, because it would really help. Those 3 videos would set you up for success. Ibiafowa, evil will jump or skip us, which means evil will not come to us when you translate it. The first is a transliteration, the second is a translation. Evil will jump or skip us, evil will not come to us. Ibiafowa. Why yaibi is another example. That's another example statement. Why yaibi. Ya is a very interesting word, and I'm going to treat the homonym aspect of it soon. Ya could be like excrete, it could be become, and it could be avoid, and it could be, what else could it be? It's a pretty interesting word because it could be become in a context, and in another context it could be avoid. Oti ya omo buruku, you've become a bad child, you know. Oti ya. And you typically would use ya when you're referring to, you know, perhaps the person has become something bad, because D is what you would use when you're sort of saying it in the neutral sense, typically in the positive sense, but it could also be the neutral sense. Ya, you typically use that in the negative sense. So it could be the Yoruba way of saying like you've become that thing, but they're also not wanting to manifest that on you, so they are saying the word avoid but using it to mean the word become. Like They're trying to separate that bad trait from you, but they're also using it to describe what you become. Like, the language is so rich. When I address the homonimo, I'm not even sure that's a word. When I address the homonyms, I will return to that. Wa ya ibi. Wa ya ibi. Wa is you will. Ya is to avoid or pass by or separate from or divide. Ibi is evil. You will avoid / be separated from evil. So you will escape evil. Another one, using pronouns in the object form, will be ibiayae or ibiayayi. Ibiayae or ibiayayi. The difference will be that you say ibiayae when the person you're referring to is younger than you. And you say ibiayayi when you're talking to one person that is older than you, or two or more persons of any age. One person that is older than you, or more than one person of any age. More than one person of any age will be two or more persons of any age, pretty much. I don't know which one is less confusing. Maybe more than one person of any age will be less confusing. Ibiayae, ibiayayi, ibi, evil, a, will, ya is to avoid, pass by, separate from, divide, for someone that is younger than the speaker. You are the speaker. So you're talking to someone that is younger than you to their face. You're praying for them. Evil will avoid you, pass by you, separate itself from you. But if you're praying for someone that is older than you, or two or more persons of any age, and you want to say that in the plural form, you say yi, ibiayayi, ibiayae. For someone that is younger than you or the same age as you, you say e. For someone that is older than you or two or more persons of any age, you say yi. Ibiayayi, ibiayae, ibiayae, ibiayayi, ibiayae, ibiayayi. Evil will skip or jump you. When you transliterate, ibiayayi, ibiayae, evil will jump or skip you. And when you translate, evil will not come to you. Another thing to note is the gesture. I almost forgot to mention this. This gesture. And if you've ever gone to the Osun festival, especially because it's one of the popular places where it's done, this is literally the it's literally the Afoya gesture. It's literally, you know, Afoya Ibi. And I remember when I was younger, when I was in boarding school, we used to do this a lot. Oh, God forbid. And I hated it when someone was in front of me doing that, because I always felt like, kilo very fine. Why are you pushing that towards me? You know, that's so. It doesn't exactly work that way, and a lot of people might be wondering, well, if this many people are making the gesture and people are behind them, aren't they passing their evil to the people behind? That's not exactly how it works. So don't freak out when you're at the festival and someone does this. Don't think that what they're saying is not to Afoya Ibi, the Ibi needs to go to the person behind me. No, if you are not, again, it has to do with intention. To manifest anything, your intention has to be involved. So even if you're doing this, but you're not mentally telling yourself why, you're practically just working your biceps or whatever, I guess. It has no meaning, no significance whatsoever. If you're consciously doing this and saying, Afoya Ibi, may evil, you know, escape me, pass me by, avoid me. This is literally the gesture of jumping or skipping over and avoiding, escaping, separating oneself. It's like, and there are certain things involved. I feel like I need to break it down even better. The ori is involved with this gesture. This is the English symbol for jump. So you might be thinking, Afoya, why aren't the Yoruba people doing this instead? Isn't this like the gesture of fo? But it's not exactly how it works. You're pointing in the direction of your future. You're saying that it should jump into your future with intention. You know, so that's not exactly how it works. Àfòyà, the evil doesn't need to happen now, but it can happen sometime in the future, much later. That's not what you're trying to do, you know, so it has to go to the back. And the fact that you're involving your ori is very powerful, because it's the physical, according to the Yoruba set of beliefs, you know, ori ode can sometimes be a metaphor, a symbolism for even your ori. You know, if anything is going to be done to your soul, to ill your soul, or to, and there are many ways that this could go, your ori has to be involved. When you shave your physical hair for initiation, your ori is actively, the ori is just actively involved with many things that happen with the ori. You know, to represent the soul, you use sort of like a head. And I explained it in the Ashe ori video, so I really don't want to go into it. I feel like I've gone into several details in that video, so I don't want to reteach. But I believe at this point we all know how significant the ori is to Ashe and to many things. So when you're letting it skip your ori like that, you're using your ori as the metaphor for your old self, for even the people around you, if those are the people that you're praying for, because your ori, your destiny, can represent your path with these people, your destiny, you know. And your destiny might involve the people you're praying for, and at that point it's obvious that it involves them, because somehow they are featuring in your current incarnation. So this is the gesture. By putting that finger over your head and to the back, you're saying nothing from your past can really come back. Like you keep going forward, right? I know that with karma and everything, there's a different way that could go. That something that you've done in your past would come back, some evil that you might have done, you know. But typically, we don't go back to the past. We're always going forward. So when you push something to your past, it can't feature in your life again. That's it. That's done. You can't be 6-year-old again. And even if you're 6-year-old, if I'm 6-year-old again, if I'm ever 6-year-old again, I can't be 6-year-old as Ronke, or have the same skin, or have the same voice. Well, I don't know. Who knows what their next incarnation is going to be, right? But I have a feeling that I don't want to come back, that I'm done. After this one, I'm done. I'm trying to give as much as I can so I don't have to come back, you know. It just goes to the past. Once it's in the past, it's done. So when you make this gesture, not only is it can't be featured again in my life gesture. That's it. Even if it was before me, I'm pushing it to the back so it can't feature again. That's it. But also it's avoiding me, it's escaping me, it's jumping over me, or I'm jumping over it. Whatever the case may be, I'm jumping over it, or it's jumping over me, whatever the case may be, or it can't be featured in my life again, you know. I'm jumping over it, I'm separating myself from it. You're putting that hand over your ori, you're skipping your ori, you know. It's a literal skip, or it's a literal separation from. You're separating this from your ori. You don't do this, you don't do this, you don't put this in. You literally put your hand over your head, you know. I'm separating myself from it, I'm avoiding it. Avoidance, skipping over. Both words sort of insinuate escape from. Avoidance, skipping over. So when you do that, not only are you shoving it to the parts of life where it doesn't get featured again, you're also saying that you're avoiding it. So even if it was meant to happen, you are avoiding it. you know, you're putting it where it can't happen. You're literally shifting it. That's another thing. Shift. You're literally shifting it to where it can happen. So don't fret that because someone has done this gesture and you were behind them, oh, that means that they moved the evil in their lives to me. If they didn't intentionally think, did I just say intentional? If they didn't intentionally think, Ronke is behind me, I passed the evil to her. If they didn't intentionally do that, then that's not what's going on, you know. I remember that we used to say pass it in the high school that I went to in Nigeria. For anybody who went to my boarding house, hello. Who say, okay, but why did you pass it to me? Pass it to the back. And everyone would keep passing to the back. I don't know, we were pretty, I don't want to say we were pretty stupid, but I remember that we thought some silly thoughts in high school, in secondary school, not high school, secondary school. Afoya, Afoya. So if you see this gesture where people are praying, or you actually, let me make it make sense. Or you go to the Oshobo festival and the Aruba is passing and people are doing this, they're literally just praying for themselves. Literally, it's a pretty common gesture at the festivals, like all the evil, all the bad luck, you know, all the infertility that I may be currently experiencing, you know, you're skipping over it. Doesn't mean that I explained it with the ditch scenario, that even if you fall into it, you find yourself out of it. So even if you're infertile, you find yourself out of it. This is literally the gesture anyway for and Afoya. I escape it, I avoid it, you know, I take it out of my path, I bring myself out of it even. You put it over your head. So if you have any questions regarding this, don't hesitate to ask. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what your thoughts are. And thank you for your time. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.